Welcome to Over 30s Gaming. Alright, so as requested, I have started the Deviation video. I've been working hard on it. I did a lot of testing inside the actual game itself. However, what I am doing is I'm going to be showing you guys the deviations in Eternal Land, but I did do the testing on the live server. So I know for a fact the information I'm giving you is going to be the information that you will see on the live servers. I just did it in Eternal Land because it's a lot cheaper to keep swapping these deviants out. It doesn't cost anything to swap deviants out. It's just easier on me. So I will go ahead. Be prepared though. There are going to be cuts and snippets just because I have to be able to swap the deviants out. I was going to try to have them all lined up, but as you can see here, max number of electronic devices used in Eternal Land. Didn't know that was a thing. So I got my deviant containers lined up right here so I can be able to show you the 4 different types of deviants that I can come up with right now. I think you can categorize them a little bit more. I will also show you guys the Excel spreadsheet, and I will have it linked in the video later on so you guys can see everything I will be explaining to you. So first, the easiest, and I would have to argue the most important deviations that they have here. And funny fact is, I actually missed one, and I wasn't even thinking about it. I actually missed one of the most important ones. However, as you guys can see here, I got my deviant vault right here. All these are deviations, if you can believe it or not. Every crate has a deviant inside of it. I don't actually have them organized in any which way, which I do got to get better on, but then I got to start moving these guys around a little bit better. And as you guys can see, I got a lot stacked up. I'm preparing for the September update where we are supposedly going to be able to merge them, and I hope that's going to be an actual thing. At least that's what they've said. So I'm hoping that comes to fruition. Oh man, I hope I have this guy on the outside. I hated to do this because I want. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Right there, disco ball. I'll leave that one because that is, I would argue, the most important Whim deviant there is. But other people would probably say otherwise. But for me, it's the most important. All right, so let's go ahead and go with Frog Leaper. All right, as you guys can see here, I have Frog Leaper. Frog Leaper gives spring legs. All the Whims can be crafted at the supplies workbench. Of course, you have to harvest their materials to be able to craft the Whims. And they almost all take acid to be able to craft. So just realize you have to have acid to be able to craft it. I think it's the materials, acid, and glass. Alright, so, and I can confirm on that too. That was one thing I didn't think about, but it's normal materials that you always have. So spring legs, I already got one, but I will re-up it. This is one of the ones I think is best. That's what spring legs does. It gives you the ability to jump almost twice as high. One of the really good deviants, and as you can see, it says right here, your muscles are like cold springs, and now you can jump higher. Epic. Now we got Pup Buddy. Pup Buddy. This is a PvP deviant. You have to go to a PvP server, or you have to loot it from the towns. You know, the deviation container in the towns to be able to get it. Those are the only ways I know you can get it on a PvE server, is looting it from a town. Deviation crate container. However, it gives Featherweight. Featherweight increases your weight by 50. It means you can carry 50 more. I'll go ahead and do it right here. Allows you to carry heavier loads. We'll go down here and it says right here, max load plus 50. Epic. Alright, next we're going to go to the Dreamcatcher. The Dreamcatcher I don't really use that much, but we all know that it comes from the... Oh, I'm trying to remember which one this comes from. This one I think comes from the Spider Boss, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, should be the Spider Boss. The Web of Silk, right here. An elixir that allows you to generate spider silk and slow down enemies. So we're going to go ahead and go to that one. This is the one I don't want to normally use. I've seen other people actually use it, and it does really good when you're trying to do a lot of CC or crowd control. So that's actually really cool. An elixir that allows you to generate spider silk and slow down enemies. Actually, you know what? I am going to use this one, because this one you have to actually use to show. I don't think, Alright, so normally with spider silk, it's, when you roll past enemies, it puts down like a little nest. Let's see if it actually explains it. Rolling generates spider webs on the spot, chaining nearby enemies. So CC. There you go. The next one that we have is the Harvest Seed. This comes from the Tree Boss. I actually really like this one. And it's Living Armor. I would suggest that this is one of the best as well to always keep on your bar. And basically what Living Armor does is once you get down to too low of XP, it actually refills your XP. Let's see here. There we go. There's it. Living Armor. So as you can see, Living Armor or Chloro Armor activates when HP drops below 20%. Recovers 100% HP within 5 seconds before losing Chloro Armor for the next 10 minutes. Chloro Armor will not take effect. So yes, it's once every 10 minutes, but I'm telling you, it has come in clutch multiple times. The only bad part also about this is once you get a Whim, you can't take a Whim off, from my knowledge. You can't like right click on them or get rid of them. They're just there. As you can see here, these Whims are lasting longer than normal. It's because we are in Eternal Land. Normally the Whims don't last 119. So, alright, next is another PvP deviation only, which is called the Masonic Pyramid. You can only get this in the Manibus PvP scenario. Oh, I'm trying to think of the name. It's not the Primverse. I'm sorry, the name escapes me at the moment. However, this one gives Predator and Parapsychology. So, Parapsychology is awesome. Let's see here. This is the only part because I'm already at 4 Whims. Parapsychology. It is the eyeball right here. Your sixth sense has been sharply heightened. Any malice aim pointed towards you will trigger an alarm in your consciousness. So what happens is when you take that, any other meta that looks at you lights up in a direction on your screen, either on the left, the right, or high. And it basically lights up telling you who's looking at you and from what direction. Very awesome. Very good PvP. Alright. That also gives another elixir or Whim, which is Predator. An elixir that makes you invisible to the enemy. This is one I also use. I'll show you this one right here. Disengage and crouch for 3 seconds to enter stealth. Your next attack deals 50% more weak spot damage. Standing up or making sudden moves will break stealth, and it cannot reactivate for 10 seconds. So for snipers out there, right there, there's your key. All right. Next is the Atomic Snail. The Atomic Snail you can get from doing Prime Wars. It comes in the crates from Prime Wars. It gives Aero Leap, which inside the air... I know I have Aero Leap. Is this it? Sudden Jolt. Nope. That's a special Whim that you only get. Wow, I might not have any Aero Leaps. I haven't actually used Aero Leap. You guys have seen one of my buddies. What it does is in the air, it allows you to go forward when you roll, when you're in the air. Oh, there it is right there. Now I'm going to have 6, though. I can't use... Oh, well, the other one's an easy one. Alright. So, Aero Leap is press roll while jumping to dash forward at stamina cost. So, we're going to go ahead and jump, control. There you go. There's Aero Leap. That's what it does. It puts you forward really quick. One of my guys, I go with Squiddy. He uses Aero Leap, like, constantly. And he's really good at doing it. It really makes you jolt forward. And as you guys can see too, or you know, eats your stamina away. But I mean, that's pretty freaking quick if you ask me. So the amount of distance you can travel is really, really great. Alright. The next is, of course, the Disco Ball. The Disco Ball is utter delight. I don't think it's going to let me override in Eternal Land. Which is this, utter delight. Oh, it says I do have utter delight. Oh, so it overwrote Spring Legs. Okay. Alright, so that's going to make me want to do the other one, though, so I can show you guys then. So, Utter Delight, while active, extends other whims by 35%. That's where you get that 119 minutes from. I know it was already doing it here in Eternal Land, but that's what gives you that 119 minutes on the whims. Let's go ahead and use Parapsychology so you guys can see that one as well. Alright, so I guess the only one that can override is Utter Delight. And that's just because it gives the higher, probably like the higher whim. Yeah, because that's not curing anything. I don't really use it. As you guys can see, I don't really have that much Parapsychology if you compare it to my other whims. And that's just because I don't find it very useful. I don't play PvP too much, but in a PvP scenario, it would be fantastic. Now, those are the current whims. And of course, I will go show you. So, in Eternal Land, which if you do PvP in Eternal Land is really awesome. Right there, we got all of them right here. Living Armor, Aero Leap, Parapsychology, the Weaver, Predator, Featherweight, Spring Legs, and Utter Delight. Alright, we're going to leave Eternal Land so I can show you guys over there. And the whims, I always suggest get your main set of whims, pick which 6 you want, and use those. Now there are more whims out there to be able to use, and those whims are what I consider special. Currently, right now, there's no way to get them in the game. You usually have to be gifted them from the devs. So we're gonna go over here so I can show you now, and then I'll tell you about the other 2 special ones because I have them on my other character and they're really cool. I wish they would bring these into the game. So as you guys can see here, so as I said before, glass, acid, inspiration fragments, or whatever the deviant gives for you to be able to do it. And this is how you get your whims. And as you guys can see, I'm pretty consistent with what I use. You can see them all right here right now. Alright, So that is how you get your Whims. Now, the other Whim will be... Alright, so I have gotten on my alt, and so I can show you... I'll have to actually go back to my main. I thought my alt might have it, but my alt does not. So I want to show you one of the other special Whims. There's two of them that I know of that you can actually get in from the game as gifts, and then I think there's other two more that you get from low sanity, and you get those from only lunar, or you get them from drinking Stardust drinks. Now, here's this one, Rejuvenation Elixir. Deep inside, you yearn for more. When near death, you gain a chance to rise again with HP slightly restored. I'll go ahead and use this. Now, these are very rare. I have only ever seen these when you're getting you're coming back from being gone from the game for more than 14 days. So it's a big deal to actually use this. Right here, Rejuvenation Elixir. Upon blackout, you'll respawn on the spot with 10% HP restored and damage dealt reduced by 10%. The effect has a 180-second cooldown. So that basically means that every 180 seconds, you get knocked down, you come right back up with a damage dealt reduced by 10%. But it's basically like an adrenaline shot that you don't have to take, yet it's an elixir. And as you guys can see right here, it is a red elixir that kind of has like a, I want to say it's like a jellyfish with a plus on it. But, yeah, the only time I've ever seen it is getting it from the coming back after my character's been gone for 14 days. So now I'll show you guys the other one. Alright, now when I got back, I went right into Lunacy, and I want to show you the other two Whims that Lunacy gives you. Pyromaniac, and of course these are only 10 minutes long. When attacking enemies will burn effect, fire rate plus 30% and stability minus 30% for 3 seconds. And then of course Innsmouth Shade, swim speed 30%, hydration depletion rate plus 30%. So if you guys were ever wondering why, when you guys are doing Lunacy, or jeez, why can't I think of what it's actually called? Let's see here. Lunar Moon.
You enjoyed that last
this is why you guys get so thirsty when doing Lunar Event. I mean, you get that one Whim and you're kind of jacked because you're losing your hydration rate 30% faster. So now I'll show you guys the other one. Alright, so we are back here. I went ahead and transferred one of these Stardust energy drinks. Now, as you guys can read here, this is another cook thing called Stardust Shellbreak. The Stardust dish provides 2 special Whim effects. Within 30 minutes of use, continuously recover HP when sanity is full. So, we're going to go ahead and use that. Now, usually it gives you passing gas as one of them. Passing gas, right there. So it gave me 2 Whims, Destroyer and Passing Gas. There's one other one than Destroyer, but I don't usually use the Stardust ones because they only last, 10 minutes and you got to keep on drinking it. Passing Gas, every 30 seconds, the next roll leaves behind poisonous mist that creates vulnerability plus 20% for surrounding units and vulnerability 20% for self, lasting 5 seconds. Yes, it helps, but it also decreases yours. And Destroyer, damage against deviants increased by 30%. Damage to humanoid monsters decreased by 30%. And sanity drops by 20 upon a kill. These are not... Usually the Whims you get from the Stardust drinks are usually not good Whims. So just give you a heads up. That's why I normally don't use them. So the next one we have is the last one, which you can usually only get from gifts, like the last one I went from my alt. Is this rare? Sudden Jolt. You gain the ability to channel electricity. You can now electrocute and paralyze enemies when engaging them in melee combat during thunderstorms. However, you also become more susceptible to lightning strikes. And let me tell you this. This is one of those other whims that come with a big negative, like the two I told you from the Stardust Energy Drink. This one, when you're hit with a lightning strike, like if you don't have chloral armor or a crap load of health, or if you don't have the lightning rod, I wonder if I actually have the lightning rod in my Eternal Land. The lightning will kill you. Like, I mean, the people were using it in Primverse when it first came out, basically to wipe everyone. You just roll until lightning killed everyone around you. And actually, I was just remembering, the lightning rod is specific, scenario specific, so it does not go to Eternal Land. So those are the current whims that you can currently get in the game. Now let's go back over them real quick so you guys can remember. All right, so the main whims, you got Utter Delight, which comes from the disco ball, right? Actually, I should have most of these already here. Yeah, Chubby already tore down his face, as you guys can see. The disco ball right here. And as you guys can see, the disco ball usually spawns, and it comes from moving house. Usually right over here. I got a mark for it. Hal's moving houses usually spawns right here, and then it spawns in like 3 places on the map. I know of 2 of them right off the top. The third one I don't really quite. Oh, and as you can see right here, Hal's moving houses right here. And this is the other place where it spawns right there. You go there, almost guaranteed to either get that or the snow globe. You hit those 2 places up twice, you're almost guaranteed a disco ball. Or sometimes I have gotten it during one of the events, the disco event, which is right here. The disco events actually happens right there in that little plaza. I got it out of a box once. I don't know if that was, something that was supposed to happen. And then of course too, trying to remember, right here, it sometimes spawns right down in here as well, across this little sandbar right here. You can sometimes go right here, and it will spawn right across there. So just keep a lookout. They do just sometimes randomly spawn in the world in different areas. But yeah, most of the time you can get them in Hal's moving house or in the securement areas inside any of the camps. Alright, so next we will go to Spring Legs. Spring Legs is easy. Ooh, I probably don't even have Spring Legs out right now. Oh, here we go. Spring Legs. Alright, Frog Leaper. Spring Legs, so allows you to jump high. Now, Spring Legs is also easy to farm. You normally have to jump on lily pads. They're normally at the lily pads and in one other area too. So over here, I think it's on this hill. There's some. Yeah, I think it's on this hill right here. There's some wrecked cars, and they're all stacked up in a stack. Actually, I take that back. Yeah. Yeah, nope. It is this hill right here. Because I forgot, this is where the box is. Right here, there's stacked cars. Usually at the top or at the very bottom, and you can hit them up there. Otherwise, where we actually had our base, There's some lily pads right here. You can go to here and jump on the lily pads and get him. Or there's another lake. I'm trying to remember. I think it's this lake right here. There's some lily pads right here. Why does that not feel right? Yeah, that's right. Alright. There's some lily pads right here. And on those lily pads, there'll usually be the frog leaper as well. So, and I think there's one other place where the lily pads are at. Right down in this area. If I can remember correctly, I just can't remember where the lily pads are at. But they're somewhere right around here. You jump on the lily pads, and usually he's on the third lily pad, and that's where you can get him. Alright. After that, we go to Featherweight. Featherweight is another hard one to actually get. I only know of where it spawns in 3 different locations. But you have to be on the PvP map, which is on Manibus, Primverse, or the other one, and you can get it. Now, spawns, there's a little house right here, spawns right here, spawns right here as well. Usually they'll be on, the pup buddy will actually be holding a deviant on, and the deviant will be dead, floating in the air. And you kill that, and pup buddy spawns. Actually, I know 4 places. He'll also spawn right here as well, holding up one. And then inside this town, there's one of these houses have an open door into where you can go and do loot. Usually he'll be in there. And also, I did forget, killing Eddie. Sometimes Eddie has a chance to drop it. And of course, we all know good old Eddie, he spawns right here. And then Eddie also spawns right over here. Right here in the play area. You can kill Eddie and he will drop the pup buddy, but PvP. Or you can get it in the securement units inside of the camps. Next will be Predator. Predator, you have to get within participating in Evolution's Call, PvP, and you have to participate in the PvP events when it's the factions going up against other factions, and that's the only way you can get it. Or if you get it from a random drop from the camps, from the securement. And then, of course, that drop, that allows you to do Predator and then Psychology. Alright. And then we have Living Armor, which comes from this guy right here, the Harvest Seed. That comes from the boss, the tree boss is what I like to call it, which is Gaia Cliff Monolith. And it comes from the Treant. This is the boss that drops the Harvest Seed. Alright. Next. And I don't think I actually have this one. Oh yeah. Dreamcatcher. Right? Which it drops well, actually we'll just put it in here real quick since it's inside my bag. Oh, I must have already had one. Drops the Weaver, which allows you, when you're, remember, rolling, it allows you to drop the spider webs for CC. Alright. That one comes from the spider boss, right? Mirage Monolith comes from Acronasium. Probably ripped that in total. But yeah, that boss drops that one. And then I think we're almost about it, if I can remember correctly. I think that's it. Here, we'll go to Eternal Land real quick, because I have them all lined up. Alright. Weaver, Predator. Oh, Aero Leap. Aero Leap, of course, comes from the Atomic Snail. And the Atomic Snail you get from Prime Wars. And that is the only way, well, other than getting inside, because from my knowledge, the camps can drop anything. You get the Atomic Snail from there. And you get Aero Leap. That allows you to do the Jolt in the air. Right there, the Aero Leap. Alright, I wanted to snippet this in because I was going through the Once Human Wiki and I actually forgot about a couple of these. So I figured I'll go ahead and go through them real quick. These are the different whims that could be added during low sanity. So Gathering Storm, when attacking enemies with shock effect, continuous shock damage increased by 60% and stability decreased by 30% for 3 seconds, 10 minutes. Innsmouth Shade, we already went through that. Invertebrate, an extra 30% decrease in movement speed of spawn. Sprains from falling. Physical damage received increased by 20%. Elemental damage received decreased by 20%. Next one is Magic Mushroom. Upon using Mushroom, movement speed and blaze damage increased by 30% for 10 seconds, while sanity drops by 100. Marathon. Sprint continuously for over 10 seconds to sustain negative 20% hydration and plus 30% physical damage lasting for 5 seconds. And then of course you have the non-shall pass. Melee damage decreased by 30%, and there is a 20% chance of triggering range knockback upon launching melee attacks. Now, of course, just keep in mind that all of those are from low sanity and can only be triggered during the lunar event when your sanity drops below 20 or down to 20. That's when those actually get triggered and they're auto-loaded. They're just random RNG gods come in and give you 2 different whims, and that's all you will get. And that should be it. Just double check. Yep, those are it. And of course you get Sudden Jolt, and then of course the other one that I showed you on my alt, which are the only ones that can be given to you. So if you have any questions about the current whims, please just leave a comment and I will make sure I get them answered. But this will be the first deviation video. I will have probably about 3 more. I will hopefully be posting another deviation video tomorrow. So if you have any questions, please leave a comment and I will get it answered. And then please like and subscribe. Also too, in the last video that I make, I will be going over more of the skill rating and actually I will go over that more in the next video. But usually for the whim ones, it doesn't really matter too much. So just remember, you just need them to be doing it and then you get them. But for the next deviants, the skill rating and activity rating really start to play a big part. Alright, I hope everyone has a great time and thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.